right now transitioning into being a full-time, or I guess full-on travel medical assistant. I just had a guest speaker. Anything else you wish to say, sir? Okay, he's done. So again, thank you guys for watching. If you follow me on TikTok, then you'll know where this video is coming from. I was working another job prior to becoming a travel MA at a hospital, and I ended up leaving that job. Just, it wasn't working out anymore, and I decided to pursue other passions. Today I just wanted to kind of, I guess, discuss how I got into this, and then what to expect if you become a travel MA. I'm going to try to keep this video close to 10 minutes, that way it's not too long. So jumping right in, my first assignment was in San Francisco. I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was working at one of the main hospitals here in Charlotte. Wasn't happy with it. It was very toxic. I just wasn't happy. Now, the thing was, I was making really great money if I'm being as a medical assistant, and this is compared to a lot of what other MAs in this industry are making. They don't make a lot of money. They don't make a lot of money. So I've seen the pay range from $9 an hour upwards of $30 an hour, depending on where you're working. I was making $25 an hour at the hospital. So again, it was really good money for the field. I do live in a 2-income household, so that also helps. But I wasn't happy where I was working. It was really toxic, and I felt like the money it wasn't worth it. So I ended up leaving. When I decided to transition to being an MA, my wife was already
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
Okay, Siri. Anyways, my wife was already working on starting her first contract because she is a travel search tech, and she was starting her first contract with another company. So I'm like, well, we do everything together. I hate that this might mean that we'll be apart for a few months out of the year. Let me do my research, So I found several companies. I made different profiles with different companies, including a staffing company in my area, just in case something happened, because again, the goal was to leave the job that I was at. So I made different profiles. They're free, they don't cost anything. Aya Healthcare was one. Fusion Medical, One Medical, I believe it's called. What's another one? Those are the three I know I can remember for sure. I made others. Oh, Vivian was another one, and Medley. There we go. Vivian had the least amount, so I didn't really give them too much play, and they also didn't have a location I wanted to go in. Fusion had a crap ton, and so did Aya, and so did Medley. So I chose Aya. I made my profile. I put in all the information you have to upload. You do need to be vaccinated. So I uploaded everything because I was already vaccinated with the job I was at. And I had all my stuff up to date. Hep B, Tdap, TB, everything. I was good to go because I just had it. So I didn't have to get those things done again. I just had to get a drug test, and that was it, just a drug test. So my process was a lot faster than most people. Like my wife, for example, had to get all of her immunizations, and it was just a shit show because they didn't send it in an adequate time, so her start date was pushed back a week. That was a whole different situation. Anyways, so we ended up getting everything done. Before I got my immunization, so I had to have like an interview with the recruiter. You know, you talk about your goals, why you want to do this, what you're looking for, what areas where you're looking to start out first. I chose California. Mind you, I was still working at the hospital at this time. I wanted to secure something before I left. So I applied for something in San Francisco because that's where my wife's first contract was. And about 2 days later, I had a job interview over the phone. And then a day later, my recruiter called me and told me I got the job. The job was in the urology department. It was in a clinic in the hospital. We were working at 2 different hospitals, maybe 10 minutes apart. So from there, this thing never stays on. So, sorry, Zeus. So from there, I ended up accepting the contract, accepting the pay. The pay is usually as it is. I have seen where they may have like sign-on bonuses. I declined the sign-on bonus and asked for more pay. But you know, the pay was what it was. So the range with Aya is contingent on if you're getting insurance or not. So if you go on Aya's website and you're looking at jobs on there, you'll see a range. Let's say, for example, like my pay, being super transparent, was starting at $1,800 to $2,000. It was like $1,890 to $2,090, and the pay was if I was getting insurance. So if I got insurance, it would be the $1,890. If I did not get insurance, it would be the $2,090. If that makes sense. So I did get insurance for myself. My wife already had her own insurance, and it was $1,890 a week. Guys, $1,890 a week. If you are a medical assistant, you know that that's a lot of money for one person. I was making that with overtime by myself in 2 weeks. I'm doubling that every week. Yes, why didn't I do this sooner? So I ended up taking the pay, the first assignment, and this was supposed to be a 8-week contract, and then it did get shortened up by a few weeks, and then I ended up coming back to Charlotte first, and my wife followed suit, and then she's already started her next contract, and I start mine on Monday. So so I ended up taking the contract in San Francisco. After that, I ended up accepting the pay, signed off all my paperwork. Everything was good to go. We found our Airbnb about 3 weeks before we were due to leave, and then we ended up having extra plane tickets for my birthday that we weren't using because they were canceled due to COVID. So instead of going to Miami, we changed the flight to San Francisco, so it worked out. We didn't have to buy extra plane tickets. But we used Airbnb for our stay, and everything was just really seamless. It all came down to just proper planning, being organized, having things readily available for the recruiter to send over, being on top of your appointments. If they send you, a request to go get your, immunizations done, do those ASAP, because a lot of times they end up having expirations on them. I had no idea that there was a such thing as a travel medical assistant at all. I didn't know that there was a such thing. And now that I do know, I will say go after it, because we do a lot in the office, and a lot of it is not glorified. You know what I'm saying? You don't get thanked for it, not like nurses do, and we're constantly, it's just not, it can be an unrewarding job. And because of that, I feel like if I'm gonna work somewhere where I'm working hard, for this other person's business, you're going to pay me for it. And so I quit the hospital job. I did not give a notice, and I have no regrets. I would do it 10 times over, and I wish I did it sooner. So if you are looking to get into being a travel medical assistant, do not hesitate. There are so many companies out there that are looking for travel MAs. Medley is a really good one as well, and they just actually started giving out health insurance. Before, it was just a job. Now they partnered with another company that provides contract workers with health insurance, so I teeter between them as well. They have a lot of contracts in California and Texas and New York. Sometimes you might get other, cities like Florida or whatever, but those are usually the ones that I see for the most part. Another thing that I did that may be a good idea for some of you is to find per diem shifts in your area. So if you're not somebody that can travel, again, this doesn't mean that you have to leave the job you're at, because here I am getting ready to start a whole nother contract in my city. So I'm in Charlotte. My contract starts on Monday, and I'm working with a hospital here. Well, it's an urgent care here in Charlotte, and I don't have to move. I don't have to do anything. You just go to work. So that is something else that you can do if you're unable to go to another state for a period of time. The other thing I found with being a travel MA is that the contracts are sometimes shorter. I've seen as little as 3 weeks to 5 to 8 to 13. So if that's something that could work for you, I think you should look into that, but definitely maybe seeing if there are per diem shifts in your area. I've noticed the bigger the city, the more per diem shifts are available to you. So that could be something that you all could look into. I did do a per diem shift with Medley while I was waiting for this to start. I did 2 of them. Actually through the same company, but I'm getting paid and I am employed through Medley. And then now I'm doing my actual assignment with another agency, and this is a little bit longer. So this contract is 3 months, and when the 3 months is up, if we like each other, I can renew the contract for another 3 months. I believe you can stay on the same site for up to a year before you have to, leave, or if they offer you a permanent position, that's something. But I definitely would say, again, look into it. If you have been thinking about being a travel MA, the opportunity is there. There are so many opportunities. Guys, you really need to get out there and take a look. And I will say a word of advice: be open-minded, because Medley does show the specialties that you'd be working in. Aya does not, and Aya has a lot more contracts. So I didn't know about the specialty until the interview. And so long as you're honest, I didn't lie. I told the employer, I've never done urology. I am more than willing to learn if you're willing to teach me, but I've never done it before. And that wasn't a deal breaker. It's not like something that you got to be specialized in. As long as they're willing to train and you're willing to learn, that's all that matters. So be open-minded. If you have any additional comments, questions, concerns, please leave them down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any extra advice, if you've been a travel MA, you have some other companies that I maybe not have mentioned, please drop them down below. Let's help each other out. Information is free. So thank you all for watching. I look forward to hearing from you all, and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you so much.